Hey folks, this is the Rock and Roll King, Robert R. McFarland, talking to you. Welcome to another edition of Motivational Mondays. And I just wanted to pick up again with this book by Dr. Wayne Dyer, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. I highly recommend buying this book, and as I said the last video, you can look through, and I've got the highlighted things that really stood out for me. But today's quote is actually, and what it is, it's the Tao Te Ching, or Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher, and it's 81 verses of his thoughts of life. But here's a quote that I want to do for today's edition of Motivational Mondays. There it is. Care about what others people think, and you will always be their prisoner. That's by Lao Tzu. Okay? So, that is actually, posted again above my computer. I see that every day. And if you haven't yet, check out my other video of why I call myself the Rock and Roll King. And that's why I want to talk about this edition of Motivational Mondays. So, I call myself the Rock and Roll King because that's a belief that I had. And I was a little hesitant at first about calling myself, putting videos out saying, hey, I'm the Rock and Roll King, because I was a little hesitant of what people would think or people say. And again, as I said in the other video, a lot of people immediately say, hey, Elvis Presley was the king of rock and roll, which I agree with. He's the king of rock and roll. I'm the Rock and Roll King, present tense. So Elvis Presley's the king of rock and roll. Everything. I'm the Rock and Roll King, present tense. So it's a little different. But it's a belief. So then I started making these videos up, saying, hey, this is the Rock and Roll King, Robert R. McFarland, talking to you. And because I believe that. I had to believe that to get my CD out. And what I want to impress on you is that you have to believe whatever your desire or passion is with all your heart. It doesn't matter what other people think. So I always use the example, let's say you want to be the best plumber in the world. You could call yourself the plumber king of the world, okay? You have to believe that and tell people that. And what I've noticed in the short time, I've been doing this for maybe a few months, maybe a year or more now with these videos. What I've been doing is calling myself the Rock and Roll King. And what I've noticed is some of my friends, not all my friends, they're starting to call me the Rock and Roll King. I just went to a bank today and they said, hey, there's the Rock and Roll King. I called somebody up on the phone to see if I could sell my CDs at their store. Hey, Rock and Roll King, what's going on? So people are starting to pick up on that now. Again, do I know if they absolutely believe it, or, even for me, it's kind of started as a joke, but, it's been starting to build momentum. But my thing is for you is you have to believe it yourself, then others will believe it for you. I have a few friends that call me Rock and Roll King on Facebook, and they might only heard one or two of my songs of my CD, but they know how passionate I am about music. They believe it already. So they're telling all their friends, hey, this is the Rock and Roll King, Robert R. McFarland. So they're believing it for me. And plus, again, I'm humble and thankful and grateful that they're taking that much courage, not even hearing the full project, but they won't be disappointed because I'm here to back it up for them. And they'll be one of the ones saying, hey, I told you so, this guy's coming. He's here now. He's the Rock and Roll King. So again, I want to impress upon you, people will always have things to say about you, whether it be good or bad, mostly bad. And what I've learned as I've gotten older is a lot of times we dwell on the negative. Let's say if somebody's successful or wins the lottery, sometimes we're like, well, he didn't really need the money or whatever. Do you know by you saying that, you're jinxing yourself? Because you're taking away the positivity of this person here already winning and the positive energy that's flowing around that, and you're just cutting it off saying, hey, he doesn't really deserve that. He'll waste that money or whatever. What you should do is be grateful and thankful that he won that money. Be proud. Hey, man, I'm glad you won that. You needed it, man. It came at the right time for you. It's a mindset. Once you start talking positive about people, more people will talk positive about you. Downtown's getting ready to jump up here on my lap. He's been getting in some of these videos here lately. So, again, don't care what other people think. What are you doing, buddy? Don't care what other people think about you. Believe in what you know about you. I have a song on my CD called Night Sky Wish. I was just listening to it when I went to the store today. And there's a verse that says, deep inside of you and I there lives another soul who's very quiet and very shy but willing to take control. If we can just let this soul appear, he can walk us through this stream, and then we can live another life, one that we have never dreamed. And folks, that's the inner voice talking to us. The inner voice really doesn't care what people think. Truly. Our outside voice, our conscious voice does, but our subconscious does not care. We need to tap into the subconscious mind, don't we, downtown, and live and be proud and bold with that voice, that soul, because that's our true self. It's a hard thing to comprehend, and I'm still working on it myself, but that is the essence of what this Motivational Monday is about. Don't let people, bring you down of what they say or do, because they're always going to do it. Folks, the greatest person in the world, Jesus Christ, was crucified. He never sinned. But look how many people still to this day badmouth him. I can never be like that. I can be the best I can be, but people are still going to crucify me and always talk negative about me. But again, I can only be what I can be. And I try to be as positive as I can towards everybody else. And I try not to say anything negative about anybody else. So, again, the quote of the day, and you can do what I do. I usually get on the computer and just print these off. I'll go to a saying. You can type the saying in, go to images, and there's usually plenty of images there. Just print them off or make it a desktop screensaver, per se. But you want to start reading these quotes every day. And I have quotes throughout my house. So if I'm in the bathroom, I got a quote. If I'm in my bedroom, I got a quote. If I'm in my kitchen area, I got a quote. If I'm walking out the door, you can see 2 quotes on my door right there. Always, most of these videos, you can see this sign right there. I finally got it. And that's, and I'll go through these different quotes as we go on. But again, today's lesson is, don't worry about what people say. People are always going to be negative. Find your passion. Live the dream now. 2017. Don't wait. It might take you a couple years to live the dream. Again, for my CD, I started out in 2014. It's 2017 now. But I stayed with it. Again, I became the rock and roll king. I'm still Robert McFarlane, or Bob McFarlane, or Bobby, to people who's known me as a kid. So, but I became this character, the rock and roll king. And a lot of musicians or Hollywood actors become characters to be successful. But the rock and roll king and Robert R. McFarlane are 2 of the same people. But the rock and roll king is that inner voice of mine, that inner soul that had to break out and say, hey, step back, Bob. I'm taking control now. We're going to rock the show. Trust me, we're going to get this done right. That was the rock and roll king. So I'm becoming that person. I am that person, rock and roll king. So again, folks, find your passion. If you haven't from last video, the top 10 things of your bucket list you want to do. Again, that could just be like maybe skydiving, some trips or whatever. But my thing is, I want you to find another source of income, a side business. Keep your job you got, but try to do something on the side to make money. It might just be enough to supplement your medical insurance. It might be enough just to pay for gas a month. It might be enough just to pay the bills a month. It might be the extra money you need to put into retirement. But I want you to find a passion, hopefully can correlate with you to start making some money. And again, the thing about passion, you do it because you love it. But if you can find a way to make some money on it too, even supplemental income, that's even ideal. So folks, thanks for watching this edition of Motivational Mondays. I try to keep it as short as I can, but people who know me, when I start talking, I get fired up. And I hope these are not too long for you. If they are, tell me. I'll try to keep them a little shorter. But I get so excited. Again, I'm getting ready to start to live my dream when the CD comes out, and I want to inspire you to live your dream. And it's such a good feeling to see that you've motivated and inspired others. That truly is a gift from God. So until next time, folks, remember, as the quote says, care about what other people think and you will always be the prisoner. Be yourself, let that inner soul talk, and just remember, it's all for one, one for all, and all for rock and roll. The rock and roll king loves you. He's thinking about you and motivating you. Thanks so much.